In these pictures, the British Army delivering crucial personal protective equipment to a hospital in London today. The Army's been mobilized to the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis in an effort to alleviate the shortages of masks, gowns, and other essentials. The British healthcare system, as vaunted as it is, creaking under pressure. More than 330 people have now died in the UK. 54 deaths reported in just the last 24 hours. So that has led Prime Minister Boris Johnson to act. Some would say finally. Some have criticized him for his slow and rather lackadaisical approach to coronavirus. But he last night introduced emergency measures the country has not seen since the Second World War. And as a result, this morning, Britain is in lockdown. Let's go to our Margaret Evans, who's right in central lockdown. That is an extraordinary backdrop, London. There, Margaret, as we talk to you, we haven't seen it like that. Good morning. Thank you for being on the program, and tell us about what the scene is there this morning.
Well, as you can see, Heather, it's pretty empty. This is normally one of the busiest capitals in the world, a city of more than 8 million people. We're on Oxford Street, which is normally packed with people. It's one of the busiest shopping centers. There is public transport still functioning so that people who have to can go to work. You might see coming up and down the street behind us the occasional famous red double-decker buses. But the city is changing, has changed. Life, as the country knows it, is changing. Last night, a very serious Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, coming out and saying that people have to do more. We had a very busy weekend. People out enjoying the sunshine, even though people were saying you have to follow the strict social distancing. They didn't, and this was the result. So, no gatherings of more than 2 people. That's forbidden. People will be housebound except for the following reasons. They can go out to do basic shopping, but only essentials. They can go out to exercise just 1 time a day alone, or with a member of their own household. They can go out to get medicine or to pick up supplies for people who can't help themselves, or they can go out to get to and from work, but only if that work is essential. Have a listen to some of what the Prime Minister said when he made this announcement last night.
You should not be meeting friends. If your friends ask you to meet, you should say no. You should not be meeting family members who do not live in your home. You should not be going shopping except for essentials like food and medicine. If you don't follow the rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them, including through fines and dispersing gatherings.
We have seen actually this morning, Heather, police on the streets breaking up a few groups of people who were walking too closely together, some kids who obviously weren't taking the messaging very seriously. These measures are actually going to bring Britain more in line with countries like Germany and France, who acted much sooner. As you were mentioning, Boris Johnson has come under some criticism. For example, he was a bit accused of mixed messaging. He started out by asking Britons not to go to the pubs or restaurants, but he didn't close them. Then a few days later, he did close them. Then he asked people to stay at home more often and to observe social distancing. That message wasn't delivered strongly enough, and now we have a complete lockdown. The message, protect the National Health Service, and that is something that most British people hold very dear to their heart, and members of the NHS have been pleading with people as well. Stay at home. It's the only way to save lives. It's the only way to stop that rising peak from getting any higher.
Margaret, thank you for all of that, and really all of us here in extraordinary times. Thank you right there on what would normally be the bustling center of a bustling city.